Hello everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. On the previous video, I diagnosed and repaired the oil leak on the 1962 Gravely project. With that one there, if it just sat, not running, it would not leak. And the only time it would leak is when I started it up and I warmed it up and got the oil hot, and then it would start to leak. So I knew whereabouts that was coming from, and if you saw the last video, which I'll leave a link to that video, I took the tow bar off, I cleaned it up real good and everything like that. Now I have this orange Gravely here, which I'll show you better in a minute, that has an oil leak, and I did make a couple of videos on it, diagnosing it and trying to fix it and everything, and it still leaks. But this one here leaks no matter what. You don't have to start it up, warm it up. If it just sits, it just leaks. I thought I pinpointed where the leak was. I thought the crankcase was porous, and I put some JB weld in the spot where I thought it was leaking, but it still leaks. So what I intend to do today is I'm going to put the tractor on the trailer. I have a couple of tarps. I always keep tarps on hand. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the trailer. I'm going to take that tow bar off, and I'm going to go ahead and clean up underneath it real good and see if I can pinpoint the oil leak that way. Okay, so this is the tractor that I have to find the oil leak on, and I don't know if you're familiar with Trey Driver. He owns a Gravely dealer out in Texas. I think it's Bonham, Texas. I know he owns the Gravely dealer, and I'm pretty sure he owns a steel dealer there, and we've been talking back and forth, and he wants this for his showroom, and I want to make sure that the oil leak's gone. And with the 1962 Gravely project that you saw that I bought, and you saw the mower deck on that, that has some problems. I have to loosen it up and do whatever I have to do, and I noticed that has an oil leak on it, and I want to fix that up and paint it the same color as this, orange. Because this tractor is like modified. It's supposed to have the hood that wraps around the gas tank and everything like that, but I don't have the hood for it. But people will get the gist that it's an old Gravely. And plus I ordered the decals. In fact, I ordered them this morning, the hood decals that go on there. And I want to get this done for him because he still wants it. And we'll have to go from there with it. So it's Trey Driver. He owns Big Buck Mowers, which is in Texas, and he has a YouTube channel, and I became friends with him on Facebook, Instagram, and of course on YouTube. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel if you want to check him out. And as a matter of fact, he's having a walk behind Gravely giveaway, and that's coming up in March. So if you want to subscribe to his channel and enter, I don't know if it's too late to enter. It could be by now, because this is like March 23rd right now. But if you want to subscribe to him and just check out his channel, he has some good videos on the new Gravely's and everything like that he sells. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I think we're going to do a cold start on this, because I don't remember the last time I had it running. It was too cold to play around with the oil leak and everything like that, The reason why I did the 62 Gravely first, because I was hoping that would be like a simple, easy job. Because I want to run that, I want to run that around here and pull my trailer for when I do the spring cleanup. And chances are I'm going to tear that all down again and restore it. So I bought like 4 hood decals I bought today. So I know one's going on that when it's done. And then the L8, which I think it's a C8. One of my commenters, I don't like to mention names unless I get permission. He said to me, he said, well, if it's like a 1967, it could be a C8, which I think he's right. I think he's right about that. But either way, I call it an L8 or whatever. But I would like to restore that one too. But I think I'm just going to do the hood on that one for now in a few months. I mean, I'm not in no hurry for that anyway. I'll just do the hood for now and slap the decal on it. And then when I get to do the rest of it, I'll do the rest of it. But the important thing is now is I want to make sure that this 1962 Gravely's okay. So this mower deck here, which is mine, is going to end up going on there. And when it comes time to cut the field, I'll test it under a load and make sure that's alright. So far it's been doing pretty good. I rode it around here yesterday after I fixed the oil leak on it, and it seems to be doing pretty good. There's no leak. I just had to do a very slight adjustment on the carburetor, and it seems like most of the rust and the rust is out of the gas tank. I looked at the fuel filter after I ran it. It doesn't look like there's any sediment in there. Okay, so let's get going, and I'm going to give this one a cold start and see how it starts. Okay, I'm going to try it on choke first. Try to get some of the gas running down through the fuel filter into the carburetor here. The first pull is going to be the choke. The second one will be without the choke. Because once you flood this, it'll kick back and rip your arm off. So you got to be careful starting these things. And plus we haven't had this running in months. It's been months. It possibly could have been a good idea to just leave the choke on for now, but I'm just going to give it a pull without the choke on it. Without the choke on, I should say. Oh, put the choke back on. I'll give it a couple of pulls with the choke on. It's not that cold out today, but the crankcase is cold. Might have to pull the air filter off and give it a prime. I don't know. Let's see. I know I ran this out of gas because I knew it was going to be running for a while. So try one more time with the choke and then I'll prime it. I'll pull the air filter off and prime it. Nah, doesn't want to go. Alright, I'm going to pull the air cleaner off and give it a prime, see what's going on. So there isn't any gas coming out of the fuel line. I had the gas turned on and I took the fuel line off of the carburetor here. So I'm just going to blow through here. And maybe I can get the gas going through. I don't know if there's a clog in the bottom of the tank here or what. The last I knew, the tank was pretty clean, so. Okay, it's starting to come out now. Sometimes you have to do this. So I got a gas flow going now, which is good. And I guess we'll just hook this up and let it. Let the bowl and the carburetor fill up. We'll give it a couple of more pulls. I was thinking of taking the drain plug off the bottom of the carburetor, but I don't think that's necessary right now. You gotta do what you gotta do with these. I'll pull this pan out, and I guess we'll give it a couple of pulls like this now. I'll put the choke back on, which it is on already. And I think we have good fuel flow now into the carburetor, I hope. So I'll choke it, put it about half throttle. As long as you have the choke on, you don't have to worry about the throttle. When you have the choke off, you gotta get off the throttle. Otherwise you'll blow it up because this has no governor on it. Let me put these glasses on so I don't wreck them. Just so you know, I did check the oil before I started it up because it had such a bad oil leak. So I'm going to back it onto the trailer, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So a little mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and the tractor started up. Okay, so what I did was I cleaned everything out off underneath, you know, where the oil leak is. I took off the tow bar. It seems to be leaking in the exact same spot here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the mower deck off it, and I'll put the plate on the front so it doesn't leak all the oil out, and I'll just tilt it forward so all the oil goes towards the front. And I'm going to take my die grinder, you know, the sanding disc. I want to clean this up real good here and make it real nice, because when I was working on this, it was cold out. You know, I was doing it inside the storage, and it just, you know, this way it got warmer out so I could work on this and do it right. And I'll just put some more JB Weld, which I got to see if I have any more. I might have to go buy some and try to fix this up, make it nice and smooth and nice, and then we'll see where it stands from there. But I'm surprised that it's leaking in the same spot. I'm laying on my side, so I'm sorry about all the camera shaking. It's 2 days later, and I think I found the majority of the oil leak. It's the oil drain plug, which is missing the gasket, which is my fault. When I changed the oil on it, you know, when I was working on this, building it and everything, I must have just overlooked the gasket on there. So please don't let this happen to you. Always make sure, you know, if you have an oil drain plug like this one, that you inspect the gasket or just change the gasket, and always make sure the gasket is there. Now, towards the back of the tractor here, I didn't see any leaks anymore. Underneath here where I put the RTB, which you really can't see, I'm just gonna back under here. So I know the crankcase was porous, and I did JB weld it, but it seems to be okay. And I'm thinking that the oil was just leaking across the transmission underneath and running down the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this drain plug out. I got a coffee can here that I cleaned real good. I jacked up the tractor, as you could see, and I just let the oil run into the coffee container here, and then I'll just dump it back in the crankcase when I'm done. And I'll show you the gaskets I bought. Okay, so this is a Dorman product. It comes with 4 gaskets, and I bought this set, this package at Advanced Auto, and it's a 1/2 inch OD or a 14 millimeter. And I already knew that the bolt is a 1/2 inch bolt from working on these so much. Usually when you're using like a 3/4 inch wrench to get the bolt out, usually indicates that it's a 1/2 inch bolt. So what I did was I took one out of the package here, and I just slipped it down onto the bolt here, and then I'm going to reinstall this. And you just want to snug it. You don't want to go crazy, otherwise you crush the gasket and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. Like I said, I got the oil is draining into a coffee can. Coffee can. And I'm going to put that oil back in, and then I'm going to start it up and run it and see how it does. I forgot to show you one more thing. What I do is, if you don't have a caliper tool to measure what size the bolt is, what I do is I just take a 1/2 inch wrench. So that tells you right there it's a 1/2 inch. And you can do that with 3/8, you know, and so on and so forth. Just use a wrench. It's the easiest way I found to do it. Okay, so I put the gasket on. I put it back together here. Topped it off with the oil that I drained out into the coffee can. And I wiped everything off clean again. And so I'll start it up now and see how it does. I don't like anything leaving here with an oil leak, especially that this is going to a Gravely dealer showroom. So I want to make sure it's all, you know, dry. It's always going to leak a little oil, I'm sure, because all of mine do. Just a little bit here and there. But I'll just tell him to put something down on the floor, so it keeps his Gravely dealer showroom floor nice. So, and then I'll just run it now, like I said, and we'll see what happens. And then if it's fine, I'll put the tow bar back on it. I'll put it back in the shop, and I'll just keep on running it. We still have to do something with the mower deck. It's very hard to turn the blade, like I mentioned, and I see if I could fix that. Okay, let's see what we have now. I just left it running to let you know that I had to run it for like 20 minutes now. So I'm just gonna crawl under here. I have to use my other hand here. It's pretty dry. know my hand's in the way. It's always is. It's a little bit up high. I did spill some oil when I put the oil back in. I spilled some, of course. I'm just still gonna let it sit here and make sure it's all right. Might have to give it a little tweak. It's not leaking nothing like it was before, and underneath here where I patched it, it's dry too. There's no oil under here either. So what I'm gonna do is, put the tow bar back together, and I'll keep it inside. I'll put a piece of cardboard on the floor and make sure it's okay. So that's gonna be it for this video. And yeah, I'm getting the hood decals in, I think, in 4 or 5 days. So I'm going to try my hand at putting them on myself. I ordered 4, so if I mess it up, I got the body guy here that rents here. I'll let him put them on. Or I'll maybe just let him put them on himself to begin with, so I don't mess one up. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.